Hi, my name is Bam, and Happy New Year. This is planning to be the first video of the new year. I'm sorry if I'm a little quiet. I am out of practice, and my roommate's awake, and she's usually not. Anyway, this is a reading vlog of me trying to get back into reading, which I started in December, and then I took a break for like Christmas holidays and school things, and yeah, we're back now. Originally the video was going to be me reading romance for the first time in like 5 or 6 years, but one of the books was going a little bit slow and I wanted to get something out, so yeah. If any of the like clips for the first book seem a little bit jarring, it's because I technically filmed them for a different video concept before actually, like, you know, deciding to go with this one. I am trying out different like editing styles right now, because with the new year I want to try and upload a bit more, like maybe twice a month if I'm lucky. Don't hold me to that though, because my life is messy. But that's the plan, and yeah, I'm going to be trying out sort of like different styles of things, so if there's a particular kind of vibe you enjoy, let me know. Give me some video ideas for me to film, maybe like reading challenges or something, I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of the intro for this, as much as I can get one. Did I script it? No. But yeah, so I'm filming this in the new year, so the last couple of clips, the first few clips, are in the past, so yeah. Oh. Hi, it's past me at like 10 in the morning, and I've only been awake for like an hour and a half. But anyway, it's past me saying I'm starting the love hypothesis. Look at this cover, it's really cute, it feels nice as well, and I'm using my cat bookmark. So yeah, gonna try and gun through some of this, and hoping it will perhaps help me in getting A, out of a reading slump, and B, in the mood to read some more romance. And then hopefully afterwards I can actually get through some of my fantasy that I have to read, because I still need to finish 6 Crimson Cranes, because I've been reading that for like 3 months now. Anyway, starting this. Very excited. My roommate likes it, so here we go. Hello! A little check-in with this lovely read. I'm about like a quarter-ish of the way through. I'm on chapter 7, which is page 112. And it's what, like 11:30 on like the second day of reading this. So I haven't been going too quickly, but I also haven't had loads of time on my hands, because I had a 9 AM lecture today, which was lovely. Anyway, so opinion, as you can see, I have added some tabs, which I tend to do, or at least that's a new thing I'm doing anyway. Anyway, I'm really enjoying this. It's a very, so far it's been very sweet and very cute, and I really like the banter between these two. It's very like, it's a good amount of back and forth, which I enjoy, and it's also just automatically very, very light-hearted, which I enjoy, especially as kind of a read that I'm using to get myself out of a reading slump, which is lovely. We have one green tab so far, which is my things I dislike / icks kind of tab, and that's purely for my own like things that I dislike, and that's mostly for the fact that if anybody has read this book, in chapter 6 there is a sequence where my poor girl Olive has to sit on her fake boyfriend's lap, and during like a proper like seminar talk thing, and as someone who's really not big on PDA, and secondhand embarrassment gets me every single time. Don't even like try. No. So that just, the scene wasn't that bad, but just even like the thought of it was setting me off. And to be fair, it was written like in a way where it's like I can relate to like Olive overthinking things and things like that. But yeah, enjoying it. I really like Olive as a character. She's giving me demisexual vibes, and I love that for her. A queen as an asexual, we love the representation. And Adam is a fun character. Dry humour, deadpan sort of thing, love it. The dynamic is obviously kind of one of my favourites. I do like a good opposites kind of dynamic and relationship, and yeah, as I've said, the way that they kind of interact with each other is really fun. I also love the platonic relationships in this. Olive and Arn are really sweet, and like the background sort of relationships and representation and stuff with like Malcolm and Arn and Jeremy and things like that. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm excited to see where we go. I'm going into chapter 7. Yeah, so I'm probably only going to read a little bit more of this tonight before I go to sleep, because then I have to go shopping tomorrow. And yeah, I'm gonna try and get this finished relatively quickly. If I can read a bunch, then I can start my next one and still have time to do my assignments that's due in 2.5 weeks. So yeah, that's my little check-in for this. I'll probably check in again when we're at like the roughly halfway point, and then again sort of closer to the end. But yeah, my thoughts so far. So it's about 5 o'clock now. I've been through my day. I went shopping and that's about it. And then I watched a documentary basically in the living room, and I would have read during it, but it was mostly in Swedish, so I had to pay attention to subtitles. Anyway, I'm in my room now. If you can't tell by the very obvious background and my books over there, I'm gonna read some of this just while watching some gaming videos, and just snacking a bit. I'm not having a full dinner today because I had a big lunch, but yeah. So I also went through my tabs earlier and I put them a little bit further in, so it was slightly neater and they were all less sticking out, but I haven't read any of this today because I left pretty early this morning. So I'm gonna try and get through a few chapters and maybe hopefully get halfway, but halfway is like chapter 16, so I'm not really gunning for that, but I was hoping I get a little bit further. And yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do for a bit. Okay, so we are at the halfway point, a little bit after, because we're on chapter 12 and halfway was roughly chapter 11. I think earlier I said it was chapter 16, but I think I was thinking of 2/3 and not a half. Otherwise I just can't do maths. So anybody who has read this knows what chapter 11 entails, and we've hit the spot where it's starting to get complicated, because Olive has feelings now and she doesn't realise that Adam already has feelings, because that's kind of obvious in how these things work. I do really like the interactions between Holden and Adam. They're very much lads, and I love the little background that it kind of gives on Adam's not as broody as people make out to be, and he cares about people. To say I gasped aloud when, of course, Adam walked in while she was ranting about being in love with him. Should have seen it coming. I think it just caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting it to happen yet, but we're also at the halfway mark, so why would I not expect it? I've read enough fan fiction for me to know how this stuff works. So clearly we are in the denial phase, but we're also halfway, which means we're going to go faster through this, and hopefully I can get this finished either today or tomorrow and I can start my next book. So I went to counselling today, and I did bring this book with me to read in the waiting room, and then on the way back I bought myself a Tesco tiger bread baguette that I'm going to eat while I read the rest of this. Yeah, so I don't imagine the angst can last very long, because I'm pretty sure there's also like some spice in this, which I'm going to skim because smart really isn't for me, but we'll see how it goes. Obviously Adam is leaving to go to Harvard for a bit, so I assume Olive is just going to weep a bit and just feel sorry for herself, and we'll probably get some self-loathing in there, which standard, I suppose. Yeah, I guess I'll check back in when we are probably either at 2/3 or 75%, or if something interesting happens, and I want to talk about it, so here we go. No, I'm not filming this at the same time as the intro. What are you talking about? Yeah, so as you saw from those clips, I read The Love Hypothesis, and I quite liked it. I'd say my overall rating would probably be about 3.75 stars. It was like a fun book. It very much gives like fan fiction vibes. But obviously it is a debut work, so I know that Ali is most likely to develop really well from this, and kind of, you know, grow as a writer. It definitely sort of like helped with escaping my reading slump. I'm just like trying really hard not to fall back into it, and yeah, it's lighthearted, it's lovable. It has a few like emotional beats, which is really nice. It took me about 3 days to hit sort of like the halfway mark, and then I finished it all within the same day I hit the halfway mark, which was pretty good. So if you need a quick read, I recommend this. I really do like Olive as a main character. She's definitely a fun sort of person to follow. And then Adam as a love interest. I think I wish we could have gotten a bit more background on him. I like what we did get, like in sort of the second act of things, but I think I would have liked like a little bit more. But he's a very fun character. He's like protective and nice, and you know, one of those characters that people just vibe with, I suppose. The ensemble cast is really nice.
like Arne, Malcolm and Holden and Jeremy are all like very diverse and very fun to sort of like be around, and they add a good little bit of like dynamic and spice outside of the main two, which I quite like, because, you know, if your main characters have nothing outside of their relationship, is it really a good relationship? I think not. I'm reading notes out of my journal, by the way, because I made a spread that I might do like a little video on, because I did record it. My only note about Tom is a scum, and that's all that really needs to be said about him. But yeah, so a lovely sort of like 3.75 to 4-star read here, and yeah, it was a fun romance to read for kind of the first romance I'd read in a while. Hey, as we saw from that little section, I've started Red, White and Royal Blue, which I don't know loads about, other than it's like pseudo-political and gay. But I say political, it's just that someone is a prince and the other one is the president's son, I think. I really don't know much about it, other than like people really like it. This cover throws me off because it's like 2 covers in one, and then like the way that the pages have been cut in like the binding of this is, it's like they're wider than the actual bottom cover, which is kind of throwing me off, and they're uneven, which is really annoying. But yeah, I started that over breakfast, and it's been a few hours. I've just been vibing. Currently I'm taking a short break, picking 6 Crimson Cranes back up, because I started this in like September, and I haven't like read it since, because I hit a roadblock in A, reading, and B, like the pacing of this was throwing me off. But I'm just going through, and I'm all of these tabs, I'm like putting them in a little further to make them neater, and then I have like a memo card in here of some extended thoughts, that I'm gonna find the most recent page that I've finished reading and then stick the thoughts on a post-it note, just so they're a bit more organised in there as well. I don't plan on reading any of this right now, but I might pick it up at some point, but I'm mostly going to focus on this, and then maybe we'll get some fantasy done. I haven't read fantasy in a while and I really want to, but yeah, I'm mostly just cleaning this up for now. Mini book haul, because my life is miserable right now and retail therapy makes me feel better. Yeah, I had to go into town to pay my rent today, so I bought myself a treat to make me feel better, and I'm really sorry this angle is terrible. I'm in my bed because my boiler is broken and it's freezing in my house. So we love to see it. Let's do this. So I bought 2 paperbacks, Before the Dawn and Roman Holiday, which are part of like the Ruby universe, which is like a show, pseudo anime honorary, I suppose. I can't remember what it's called. The one that comes before this that focuses on coffee. It's on my bookshelf, so these are gonna go sit next to it. But yeah, I've been waiting to read this for ages, and this one came out recently, so I was kind of buzzing. Also, Roman is like one of my favourite characters, so that will be fun. And then I bought Once Upon a Broken Heart because I've been seeing lots of it on Instagram and it sounded really interesting, and they had it in hardback, and there's something that hits different about owning hardback fantasy books. And yeah, so I have this and Realm Breaker at the moment that I've not like read or started, and I'm like really looking forward to reading this and Realm Breaker, so yay. Also, beneath the dust jacket of both this and Realm Breaker were really pretty. Like, this navy colour is really nice, and then look at that spine. It's gorgeous. Anyway, yeah. Mini book haul. I might buy more because I have like Christmas money to spend, but we'll see. That's what I have right now. It is late, but I wanted to talk about this for a bit. I'm on chapter 4 currently, and it's a long chapter. As we can see, we've added some tabs, lots of yellow ones. I will say this is quite a like decently like funny book at the moment. Henry is a comedy icon. There, I said it. Current opinions. At first, I hated Alex. He was an insufferable prick, and he gave me the vibes that he would run a discourse blog on Tumblr and make hating things his personality. He's gotten better a little bit with the friendship with Henry. He's gotten better. And usually when he's around like June, it helps. But they bounce off of each other, as siblings should. Yeah, not much has happened so far, but I will say it's not like enemies to lovers. It really isn't. I don't know where that like conception came from. Like, it's very clearly one-sided at least, but even then we're on chapter 4 and they already start liking each other, or at least Alex starts liking Henry, because I don't think Henry hated Alex in the first place. But it's very much not enemies to lovers. Like, it's rivals for 2 chapters, then they're over it, and now it's just waiting for them to get together, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think when enough people try and coin it as enemies to lovers, when it's not, let's not mix up what enemies to lovers truly is. And it's not even really hate to love, so you can't really class it as that either. I don't know if it was marketed as like hate to love or enemies to lovers. If it was, incorrect. But yeah, it's whatever. I am interested to see where it goes. I don't know where we can, I'm assuming there's going to be some like political turmoil or something involved in like the campaign for Alex's mum's like second run. I have to guess anyway, because that's kind of like being set up right now, and like June is very clearly not wanting to help with the like campaign stuff. She's got her own sort of like goals and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts at the moment for how early I am. And like, I'm probably gonna go to bed in a minute. I'm gonna like do my journaling for the night, and then I'm gonna go to sleep because I want to get up and do a run in the morning, even though I'm gonna freeze. But yeah, I'm hoping I've been getting through it relatively quickly, even though the chapters are stupidly long. But the font is pretty big, so it's not like the worst. It's not going as slow as when I try to get into Spanish Love Deception, so, you know, that's a plus. And hopefully it will remain relatively fast-paced, just because I genuinely cannot even try and guess what the plot is going to be right now. But yeah, that's my early thoughts. And now I'm going to go to bed. Hello, I have hit like the roughly halfway mark. That's halfway, isn't it? It feels like halfway. We're on chapter 8 and like page 202, sort of, and like stuff is happening. Things going well, which means that things are going to go badly in the next like chapter or so. So I'm anticipating that. I'm not like totally solid on like what my opinion of this is yet, because like all the political stuff I don't really care about, but that's like kind of the crux of half of the plot, because whoever said this was enemies to lovers, therefore implying it was slow burn, it's not even like I said, it's not even hate to love. Like, they get together very quickly, and like, you know, that's okay. But when it's kind of like, when lots of people are saying that it's one thing and then it's not, there's expectations that are kind of like pulled away from. So yeah, mixed feelings on that. Like, I don't hate the relationship, they are definitely very fun together, and Henry's still like my favorite character next to Nora, and I also really like June. But yeah, I don't know, it's feeling 3-star at the moment, just a tad. I guess we'll see where the plot goes from here, if it, you know, gets interesting. But like I said, I don't really care about political stuff, so I guess we'll see what happens. So I finished Red, White and Royal Blue today. I read maybe like, I started from chapter 11, I think. I can't remember where I finished off last night, but I finished it. She's all tabbed up, all done, ready to go on my shelf. And thought I'd share my final thoughts and close out this little reading vlog. So yeah, I think overall my rating of this would be 3.75 stars, which is the same as The Love Hypothesis. I really do like Casey's writing. She knows how to make you feel. Like, a lot of it is very humorous. She's a very funny kind of writer, and then when you have to feel something, she knows how to make you feel it. The whole sort of like outing section, because there is obviously, they get outed in this, unfortunately. She does a really good job of making you feel angry and upset for them, which is pretty good. I will say that, like, I feel like it could have been shorter. Like, I don't think every scene needed to be in there necessarily. Some of them felt a little bit unnecessary and I guess there just to drag things out. Like, some of the chapters were absurdly long. And, like, that's just my opinion, that I didn't think every scene and sequence was necessary. And it was just, like, on the slower side, when most of kind of the big high energy stuff didn't really happen till, like, the last 100 pages, which I guess is, like, normal and everything, but still, I feel like the middle could have been cut down a tad. That's just my opinion. I still really did enjoy this. It was a very good read. I like the characters. Alex did grow on me by the end, but Henry is still my favourite. And yeah, that's kind of a concise little piece of my opinion and my thoughts on this. So, you know, if you want some soft gaze, go for it. Read it. It's definitely a book that I would recommend if you want some, like, LGBT fiction. So, that is the end of this reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed. I hope anybody who's come from the journaling video is, like, happy with this kind of, like, content. Maybe, you know, suggest other ideas that I could do. In terms of, like, reading vlogs, is there a particular sort of, like, schedule you like with these things? Do most people like them weekly or fortnightly, which is 2 weeks, by the way? Or is it like a 1 monthly thing? Keep in mind that if I do any reading challenges, those are probably most likely going to be, like, vlogs as well. So I guess, yeah, what kind of, do you like this content? Do you want me to keep going with it? Do you like me sharing my obnoxious thoughts about books people like? And yeah, recommend me some books, to be honest. You know, more LGBT books I would really like to read. Anything with, like, a pan or an ace main character would be really nice to read. Any autistic or ADHD fiction would be nice to read as well, as someone who is those things. And any fantasy as well. I have a couple of anticipated reads this year that I'm really excited for coming out. But tell me yours and I can check them out. I can maybe have a look. I don't have lots of money though, so, you know, I might be a little bit late to some of the more popular things, but that's okay. Yeah. If people like this content, I will make more of it. And again, you know, new year, I'm trying to get into filming a bit more, so any content that you would like, fill me in. Let me in on a little secret. Keep me in the loop. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Stick around if you'd like more, and I will see you in whatever video I film next. Bye.